Thank you, Janice, for changing the picture. Okay, we are live now. Jai Baba, everybody. Welcome to our Thursday session. We shall now begin with a small prayer. Janice, could you do the prayer, please?
Tar Meher Baba ki Jai. Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more, and still yet more, till we become worthy of union with you, and help us all to hold fast to Baba's daman till the very end. Avtar Meher Baba ki Jai. Avtar Meher Baba ki Jai. Avtar Meher Baba ki Jai.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Janice. सबसे पहले I'd like to request our Lord Meher Baba to please come and join us for this entire session. Not only just join us, but to take over all the proceedings of this session. Baba, let each word be spoken as per your wish. Thank you, sir. As you can see in the picture, we are just one day after celebrating Baba's birthday at the Bombay Center. And therefore you see all these decorations and happy birthday around. I'm still trying to recover from the nasha, the intoxication of Baba's love that was pouring in yesterday to one and all at the center. It was a beautiful feeling. And we shall be continuing these sessions of birthday programs as per the thing displayed on your screen now. On the 1st of March from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Shri Deepak Thade Ashok Ambulkar and Aswari Panchmukh of Ahilya Nagar, which is Ahmednagar, our old Ahmednagar, will present an evening of soulful devotional songs to immerse all in Baba's love. 7th and 8th March, which happens to be a Saturday and Sunday, from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m., Shri Pratap Chandra Nigam. For those of us who are not familiar with the people from Hamirpur, Nigam Sahab, a long-time lover of beloved Baba from Hamirpur, will share his heartfelt stories and anecdotes. From Baba's monumental visits to Hamirpur in 1952 and 1954. Across both days, Shri Sahil Srivastava, a well-known singer and a devoted Baba lover, will offer his soulful singing on both the days. The venue is our good old Bombay Center. All I request our listeners and viewers is to come down here and join us in sharing the love that we have, that He has for us, which He sends out abundantly when all of us gather in His love. Thank you very much, everybody. Now we shall get on to our today's business. Sunday before last, Raj Khilnani had spoken about his life and times with Meher Baba in a very short period of time. And therefore, today we have again requested him to extend his more of his stories in a very, and he has chosen to do it in a very presentable way, in the sense there are a lot of audio visual things to be screened. So I hope all of us enjoy this evening in Baba's love. Raj sir, all yours.
Yeah, thank you, Sam. Jai Baba to all. And so I begin my stories. To be precise, it was 10 years before Baba dropped the body that we had a very close association with beloved Baba. And this started from Pune, Guru Prasad days in 1958, right up to Baba dropped his body in 69 and continues, of course, thereafter. But I'll now begin with some small stories in between, because I had already shared some stories earlier at the center. So let me begin with this anecdote. On one occasion, in fact, we used to get many opportunities to be before Baba and have his darshan and his company. We were very fortunate. Although this decade was of seclusion and a lot of inner work of Baba, but as you all know, that Baba used to need some break and a change from the tremendous, strenuous, hard work that he was doing continuously over a long stretch of time. But then he needed some break, and then he utilized those breaks to give us an opportunity, some of us who were close and who were fortunate to be given that opportunity at that point in time, to appear, to go before him and have his darshan fairly frequently. Although it was a seclusion time for most of his lovers across the world, but for few of us who were around in Ahmednagar, it was a big fortune of ours to be before him during those days. So on one such occasion, Baba asked my father that to entertain him and to give him relaxation, he asked my father to sing some song to him. And my father was nonplussed, because he was never a singer. So he said very cleverly, he said, my wife, Girja, whom Baba referred as Girja Devi, he said, my wife Girja will recite something from Guru Granth. Guru Granth is a scripture which the Sikhs and the Sindhis always recite. And there are poems and hymns in that. So my mother used to regularly read and recite from that scripture. And on that day, she recited one of the Guru Nanak's very well-known song and poem. And it's in fact a prayer, which now I've got it downloaded from the Google, and it will be played now. Once you hear that, Tum Thakur, Tum Payyar Das. You are the Lord, and we pray to you. So that's the prayer will be starting now.
जियो बिन सब तेरी रास, जियो बिन सब तेरी रास, सब तेरी रास, तेरी रास। तू ठाकुर तुम पे अरदास, तुम माता पिता हम बालक तेरे, तुम माता पिता हम बालक तेरे, तुम्हारी कृपा में सुख गनेरे, तुम्हारी कृपा में सुख गनेरे। तू ठाकुर तुम पे अरदास, तू ठाकुर तुम पे अरदास। कोहे न जानी तुमरा अंत, कोहे न जानी तुमरा अंत, ऊंचे ते ऊंचा भगवंत, ऊंचे ते ऊंचा भगवंत। तू ठाकुर तुम पे अरदास, तू ठाकुर तुम पे अरदास। सगल सामग्री तुमरे सूतर तारी, तुम ते होए सो आगे अकारी, तुम ते होए सो आगे अकारी, तुम ते होए सो आगे अकारी। तू ठाकुर तुम पे अरदास, तू ठाकुर तुम पे अरदास। तुमरी गत मित तुम ही जानी, तुमरी गत मित तुम ही जानी, नानक दास सदा कुर्बानी।
So this is a beautiful prayer, a song, which my mother knew by heart, and she sang it for Baba. And Baba liked it very much. And my father, who was sitting there next to my mother, he, in his excitement for Baba, he said, as you might have just heard, the last line, Nanak says, Guru Nanak says, Nanak Das Sada Kurbani. Nanak says, I am the servant, slave of the Lord, and I am always surrendered to you. That is the wording of the last line. But in my excitement for Baba, he just, without thinking, he said, now that we are sitting in front of Baba, in place of Nanak, you can put Meher Baba there, Meher's name. And then Baba immediately told Erich to ask my father to repeat what he said. And when my father said again what he had just said, and I said, explained it to you, Baba said that would be something wrong, because Nanak says he is the slave of the Lord and I am that Lord. So how can you put my name there? It would be wrong and incorrect to put my name there. That was the beautiful way in which he, subtly brought out his experience as God. And then Baba also said that Guru Nanak was on the sixth plane of consciousness, means he saw God everywhere. He didn't see anything else. As we know, on the sixth plane, the soul experiences only the existence and presence of God and sees that. So during those years, when in the beginning years, my father was asked, Baba said, you are a judge and I'm also a judge. And then Baba said, but there is a difference. Once you judge somebody to be at fault, to have committed a crime, you pass a judgment of punishment. Whereas what I do as a judge is to give forgiveness. I forgive. That is what Baba explained to my father. And once in 1962, along with Baba, we had gone to Meherabad when it was Gulmai's burial there in Meherabad. And we were there with Baba there in Meherabad. My father said, it's a beautiful, ashram here in Meherabad. And Baba said, years later, this will become a big township and a place of pilgrimage for people from all over the world, and people will throng here in thousands. And that is what we are now slowly witnessing to be happening. During those days, we were studying in Sacred Heart Convent School in Ahmednagar. That was the only English medium school at that time there. And that, as you know, in convent school, they talk about Jesus as the prophet of God. So we were being told about Jesus. And my brother used to write everywhere on the wall, Jesus, Jesus, because he used to hear it, and we used to hear it in the school. So when we went before Baba, my mother told Baba that this is what this is doing. And Baba said, it makes no difference. It's just the same. The only thing is Jesus was and I am. These are the words that Baba said, and Erich said these words. These are very insightful things that we got to hear from him. Once again, while we were sitting before Baba, and Baba had said that he knows that he is God. So my mother was thinking in her mind, how does Baba know that he is God? And then when this thought crossed her mind, and then Baba looked at her and smiled, and then there was conversation happening about whatever was being talked about in that little gathering. And after a short while, Baba asked my mother, and through Erich, that Girja Devi, how do you know that you are a woman? So my mother felt, what a question to ask. she thought in her mind, what is Baba asking me? How do I know I am a woman? So my mother said, well, of course I know. It's just a knowledge by knowing it, because I am that. Then Baba said, in the same way, I know that I am God, because I experience that state all the time. And that's how my mother got an answer to what thought that had crossed her mind at that point in time. During those early years in Ahmednagar, 1960-65 period, we were staying in Kuchru quarters. And at that time, my father was about 45 years of age, and sometime around that time, he became diabetic. And he used to test his blood sugar. At home, they used to do it at that time. And once he used to find that he has blood sugar, he used to tell my mother that he has diabetes and blood sugar and all that. So it's a serious disease. So my mother got worried and she used to get concerned. Now, what used to happen was when Baba used to go from Merazat to Pune, he used to make a very brief halt near Sarosh Motor Works outside Khushru quarters while going to Pune. And likewise, he, on his return from Pune to Nagar, he used to give a little glimpse of to his lovers at Ban Garden. So now when he was going to Pune, the car had stopped, the DeSoto car it was, and it had stopped at Sarosh Motor Works. And my mother was worried at that moment, and she told Baba that my Prem has got diabetes and I'm worried he says he might die. And Baba said at that time that nothing of the sort is going to happen. I am going to die before Prem dies. This is what to put the anxiety away from my mother. This is what Baba told her in our presence. Then those were the days when my father wanted to be her to be a little economical in running the household. And she used to be a little careless and she used to take grocery items on credit. And my father used to say, don't take too much of credit from the grocers. And as an example, he said, you can maybe use a little less of the talcum powder which you are using. So once we were before Baba and Guru Prasad, and Baba used to say, ask her, how is it going? And my mother said, Prem is telling me to, use less of talcum powder. And Baba looked at my father and he said, why are you doing that? And he said, he called his Goher and other women, Mandli, some of them, and he said, don't you use talcum powder? Do I ever stop you from using that? That's how he handled that situation. And he always said, you keep each other happy. He wanted my father to listen to keep my mother happy and my mother to keep my father happy. And he said, if you do that, then you are pleasing me. That's the only sadhana that he gave to my parents. And once he wanted to visit Bombay to attend some of her relatives' marriage, and my father was telling not if she could avoid it. And even this little thing went to Baba, and Baba said, no, let her go. But only thing is she should come back soon. So when her father, who used to visit us, he was Colonel Karamchandani, was a medical doctor. He was also a very devout Guru follower of the Guru Granth. He used to come to us in Khushru quarters. At that time, we took him to Baba, and Baba knew that he had some anxiety about his daughter. So Baba said, your daughter is not your daughter, she is my daughter. I am the father and mother of your daughter, Girja. And that's how he put her put him at ease. And he says, I will handle Prem and I can break his head if you feel that he is not keeping her happy. That's what had happened. And that was the time when he was posted as assistant judge, as a civil judge. When he used to hear civil matters, he was a civil judge. And when he used to hear criminal matters, he was an additional sessions judge. So assistant civil judge and additional sessions judge. That was his designation. And as that in that post, there was no official quarters. So that's how we got a chance to live right in Khushru quarters. That's another story, time permitting, I can share that. But then what had happened was the regular district judge, one Judge Bhojaraj, who was the district judge, he had got a heart attack and he had taken long leave, about 6 months leave. And my father, being the next in line, got a chance to act as a district judge during that time. And as a district judge, you have to do administrative work besides doing the judicial work. And that gave a little change to my father. And he used to visit to the civil courts in the district. As you all may be knowing, Ahmednagar is a big district. There were so many talukas, and we used to go with him in that Landmaster car of Baba's, which we had bought. We used to go on tour to these taluka places, a number of places, including Pathardi, where we visited Bade Vakil, who used to be there, and Palve, his daughter, she conducts the online Baba programs. So we had visited them there. And having tasted what a district judge power he had and all that, he was now waiting. His turn had come for getting his promotion, and he was eagerly waiting for his promotion as a district judge and sessions judge. So during that time, when he was worried, Baba gave us an opportunity to go before him in Mehrazad. And when we were seated before Baba, Baba looked at my father and he guessed that he was sad. And he says, why is it that you look so sad? And then my father naturally said that he's now expecting his promotion and he is anxious for it and anxiously waiting for it. Then Baba told Aloba to recite a couplet. And that couplet was, Fikra sabko kha gayi, fikra sabka peer. Fikra sabko kha gayi, fikra sabka peer. Fikr ki jo faqi kare, uska naam fakir. And this means that worry is something that eats up everybody. And the real fakir is one who is able to gulp the worry and consume it up and do away with the worry. He is a real fakir. You know, we normally, fakir has two meanings. We take it to be fakir means a beggar. But Baba gave the real meaning of fakir. And then he said, I am the king of fakirs, Baba said. And he told my father, you be a fakir. Like me, I am a king of fakirs. That's how he pacified my father. And then, of course, the conversation went to other things that are happening in that little gathering that used to happen before Baba. And then after a while, before we left for that day, Baba tells my father that soon you will be getting a letter, and any important letter that you get, you can send it over to me. And this was an indirect hint which Baba gave to my father that he will be shortly getting his promotion orders. And as Baba had said, very soon my father got that promotion letter as a district judge, and he was transferred from Ahmednagar to Raigad district as the district judge of Raigad, with headquarters at Alibag. So now we were moving out of Khushru quarters to go to Alibag and winding up from Khushru quarters. And then to say goodbye to Baba, we went to Mehrazad. And again, my father appeared rather sad So Baba said, now what's the matter? You were looking forward to your promotion. Your promotion is come. Now you're going as a district judge. So why do you appear to be sad? And my father said, but Baba, I'm now going away from you. I'm leaving Ahmednagar and I'm going to Alibag. And Baba, through Erech, he told my father, what are you saying? Am I not in Alibag? These are the exact words of Baba. Am I not in Alibag? And then we went to Alibag. Baba sent birthday greetings to my father on his birthday on 1st of April. And on Baba's birthday also, we used to get Baba's letter giving us his blessings. And on my birthday in 1965, which happened to be in Alibag, Baba sent a telegram on my birthday, which I have shared here now. It can be seen here. This is the telegram I had got in 1965, Justice Khilnani, Alibag. Keep happy in my love blessing. You on your birthday as always. This was the telegram that I had received in 1965 in Alibag. But then what had happened was there was no English medium school in Alibag in those days. And we were having a tutor at home and studying at home. And there was an issue, how do we give the exam? Because the school used to be in Marathi. And my father put this difficulty before Baba and he says, I want to come back to Ahmednagar as the district judge. And Baba said, I will turn the key, but you have to make the effort. So my father used to come from Alibag to Bombay. And as you might be aware, there is a district Chief Justice Bungalow in Malabar Hill near Narayan Dabalkar Road, near the PDP park. And my father used to go there early morning around 10 o'clock and call upon the district judge, or call upon as a district judge of Alibag on the Chief Justice of Maharashtra, and put his request. Of course, he had requested in writing also, but he wanted to make personal request. So he used to go to his bungalow and make request, I want a posting as district judge in Ahmednagar where my children had done their schooling and then they can go back and give their exam there. And the Chief Justice used to feel what a funny request because Ahmednagar was not a sought after district. Nobody wanted to go there. And here was a judge who was asking to be reposted as district judge in Ahmednagar. And as Baba had said that he will turn the key. And very soon, in about 9-10 months' time, my father was again posted back to Ahmednagar, but this time as a district judge of Ahmednagar. And then, of course, he got a big bungalow quarters near the Aurangabad Road on King, which was adjoining to the DSP office. And there we lived for another 5 years. 1966 to 69, when Baba dropped his body, we were there in that bungalow. And there used to be times when we were before Baba used to ask me, whom do you take me to be? Very frequently, Baba used to ask this question to me and to my brother. And we used to say, Baba, you are God. And Baba would say, are you just telling it with your mouth or you're telling it from your heart? Do you really take me to be what you are saying? And we said, yes, Baba, we take you to be God. And he used to say, have no doubt, I am the Lord of the universe. And once he told us, we were little boys, he said, you see the sun in the sky and you see the moon and the stars. I put that there. That is what he said. Such a strong way in which he used the words to convey the faith in us as children in him. But there were 2-3 occasions when I didn't behave as if he have that faith. And once when he told me not to become a pilot, that was another anecdote, but I will now tell it very briefly. Once I said, I want to be, he told my brother to do MSc in chemistry. And then I said, Baba, what should I do? And Baba said, I'll tell you when the time comes. And I wanted to be a pilot because my mama was a pilot. And Baba said, no, you are not going to be a pilot. And I said in my mind, even if Baba says, no, I'm going to become a pilot. So that only shows that subconsciously, I was not prepared to accept the no from Baba, whom he said is God. But then in my mind, I had my own desire. And once the third time when I had this doubt was when on 31st January 1969, when we got the message around between 1 and 2 o'clock in the afternoon that Baba had dropped the body. And that news came to me, and it gave me a shock, and it gave me a doubt and a shock. How could he be God if he has died? So I quietly, in a pensive mood, I walked across in that district judge's bungalow about more than a furlong away to the gate. And when I was walking towards the gate, I had this doubt. But when I turned at the gate to come back again to the house and the bungalow, all my doubt vanished. Baba did a little miracle in my mind, and all that doubt vanished. And I got a convincing faith in my heart that, well, so what if he dropped the body? Because he so often told us, I am not this body. This is only the coat which I wear to make myself visible to you. This is what he used to tell us when we were seated before him. And another thing which he very often said was, it is all nothing into nothing. This is what, of course, this is there in the discourses, but this is what he uttered more than once when we were seated before him in the little gathering at Merzad. And he also said, it is all a passing show, and it's all a film show. So I recalled all these sayings of Baba, which I had personally heard him say through Erich, and all that doubt that had occurred to me naturally at that point in time as a 15-year-old boy. It all was removed by him because of the faith that he had built in me. During those days, we used to, as I said, we used to get a chance to go to Baba. Baba being in seclusion, he wanted some break from his hard work that he was doing. And once we were late in going to him, and Baba was inquiring, where is Prem? My father's name is Prem. He said, Prem is not come. He was asking, Erich, where is Prem? Why is he not come? Why is he late? And Erich said, he'll be coming. He's at times late, as you know. So, and then we came, Baba said, and that Baba at that time said to others who were there seated before him, he says, I love Prem so much. If Prem has not come, it's as if nobody is there, as if I am all alone. This is what he said. And when my father came and we came inside in the Merazad hall, Erich told us that this is what Baba had said when we came there in the hall. And my father felt very pampered when he heard this. And on another such occasion, then we got a chance to be with Baba. Of course, we got many chances and opportunities to hear qawwalis that were happening before Baba. Even earlier days when we were in Khushru quarters, for Baba to get his change from the seclusion and the hard work, there used to be these qawwals who used to be brought by Kishinchat Gajwani from Bombay, as you might be aware. So many good qawwals were coming, and we used to hear those qawwalis in front of Baba. One of such qawwali was happening, and I have shared a picture which happened to have been taken. I don't know if that can be shown at this moment. I am sitting before in front of my father in the Merazad Mandali hall, where this qawwali was going on, and this snap happened to have been taken. She'll be showing these photographs which I have shared. Yeah, this is the photo. On one side is Adi Senior, close to Baba. And on the other side is my father with his hand and finger on his cheek. And right in front of him in white shirt is myself in front of my father. This is me as a little boy. And this is Rajan Tiwari, son of Bhagirath Tiwari, who was also seated along with us. And these are the Kawals who are singing in front of Baba, the Kawali that is happening. And then on another such occasion, when we used to go before Baba, Baba used to, as you are aware, and it has been told in other stories also, that when Baba was in seclusion doing his work, to keep his link with the body, he used to keep hammering his thigh continuously. And because of that, his thigh had become like stone. The muscle in the thigh had become like stone. And when we were seated before Baba, Baba told my father, you come and touch my thigh and see how it has become like stone. But on that occasion, the instruction to us was not to bow down to him, not to touch his feet. But my father, when he touched his Baba's thigh, he took that opportunity. He tried to be smart and took that opportunity. And then feeling the thigh to be like stone, he said, yes, Baba, I can feel it. Your thigh has become like stone. And then Baba, my father moved the hand down Baba's leg and touched Baba's feet. And that annoyed Baba. And he said, Baba said, I had said nobody should touch my feet on that occasion. And my father did that. And then he expressed his regret. And he said he was sorry that he touched his feet. And then Baba forgave my father for having disobeyed him and having touched his feet. These were little anecdotes which have left a big impression in our mind. Then on another occasion in the Manli Hall, Baba had come walking. As you know, Baba used to limp and he had to be carried in the chair from his room to the Merazad Hall. And Baba, having got seated, he wanted to show to his lovers that he can walk now better. And he had walked across in that Manli Hall right up to from one end where the sofa is there to the other end. And then he had again sat, but we had come late. And when we came late, Baba said, you did not see me walking. So I will walk again to show you. So Baba walked again for us and to show us that he walked well. And he walked again once again and came back and said, and then he asked my father, how did I walk? Did I not walk like an express train? He said. And my father, to joke, to make him laugh, he says, no, Baba, you were like a passenger train. That you were slow. Passenger's train goes slow, right? So that's what he said. That's how we used to have very homely gathering and, personal get together with Baba. And Baba speaks to us in our inner voice. This is a story of a subsequent period. I was transferred from Jalgaon, where I was a superintendent of police. Those are another stories as of my profession, but I do not know whether I should be talking of that. Anyway, I was transferred from Jalgaon. They would, beforehand I was transferred. Before that, my tenure was over. And those were the times there used to be rivalry in Jalgaon politics between Suresh Dada Jain, who was the municipal mayor of Jalgaon, and Dada Chaudhary, who used to be the speaker of the assembly. And there used to be this traffic week once a week where the police had to show the traffic regulation rules to the people. So we had organized a street corner education week for traffic, and the traffic inspector had called Suresh Dada Jain to come and that gathering on the platform in the public gathering. And at that time, we were clicked together, and that photograph as me as the district superintendent and the Suresh Dada Jain as the mayor of the town. That picture appeared in the photograph, and the followers of Madhukar Chaudhary, who was the speaker, they showed that picture in the newspaper to the speaker, Madhukar Chaudhary, and they said, here is a superintendent of police who is aligned with the mayor, your rival. That's how they, made him against me. And he, as a speaker, he could get anything done. He told the chief minister and got me transferred from there. And I was transferred from there to as a deputy commissioner to Aurangabad. But I had worked as deputy commissioner and I didn't want to go back to that small, in those days, Aurangabad was a small town. And I had requested for another posting. And then I was posted in Bombay as the chief vigilance officer in MADA. And that time I had got quarters in Tardev in a building called Manyar in Tardev. But I was not happy there. And I used to get up early morning and keep anxious time around 4 o'clock in the morning. And I used to talk to Baba. And Baba used to console me in my heart that you don't worry. And during that conversation, I said, Baba, how do I know that it is you who are consoling me and not I am talking to myself? And then the inner voice, Baba told me in my heart that, look, have I not said that you and I are not we but one? So even if you feel that you are talking to yourself, I am talking to you as Raj. Even if you take me that I am talking to myself, even I am in you and I can talk to you as Raj talking to himself. This is what he explained. And since then, whenever I find Baba talking to me, or the inner voice or the conscience, these are the different ways in which God or the divine talks to us. We all experience that in our lives. And as a conscience or as intuition, he talks to us. And at that time, this is what the explanation I got. And on 31st of January 1968, Baba had called a small get-together of his lovers in Merazad. This was exactly 1 year before he dropped his body. And in that meeting, Baba had brought Mehra Mai before the gathering of the people who were his lovers who had gathered there. And we got a chance to be, the men folk got a chance to have Mehra's glimpse in that meeting. And when we were driving back, my father told my mother that what meaning should I take out of it? Does it mean that Baba is now exposed, bringing Mehra out before his lovers? And why is he doing that? This is, and my mother told him, don't think like that. You just take it as an opportunity you got to have Mehra Mai's darshan. That is what had happened in 68. And then exactly 1 year later, Baba had dropped his body. And then, of course, we were there in Ahmednagar, and we got a chance to go all the 7 days when Baba was lying in the crypt in the Samadhi. And we have some of those pictures here when my father was standing inside the Samadhi looking at Baba along with the Mandali. That picture is there. Maybe that can be shown now. Or she'll show it a little later, maybe.
This picture, uncle?
Yeah, this is the picture when my father is looking down at Baba in the crypt, and Erech is there on one side, and Adi Senior is on the other side of Baba. This is the picture in the photograph in this Baba's Samadhi, when Baba is, of course, in the crypt, and my father is looking down at him. Erech is also looking down at him. There used to be a lot of Baba lovers and the Mandli whom we got a chance to see very closely during those days. And some of the younger people now, the younger Baba lovers, may have just heard their names, but I was very fortunate to see them face to face and talk to them. And some of these names I have put here. Dr. William Donkins, he was one of them whom we saw very closely. And he used to live in Mehrabad during those days, in one of the cottages in front in the lower Mehrabad. Then there was this Rano Gali, who used to do Baba's, the painting at Baba's behest. Then Francis Brabazon, you have heard of him, but we used to see him very closely, playing there with, at the Seven Tiles and all in Kushru, in Mehrazad. Then Kaka Baria. And Sarosh Irani, of course, he was there. Once Baba had received a letter from his Hamirpur lovers, and they were wanting Baba to go there and bless them for the Meherasthana that was being built in the 60s. And Baba, when he was having that letter read before him, we were seated, and Baba asked my father, would you like to go there as my representative to Hamirpur? And my father, he didn't grab the opportunity. He said, no, Baba, I'm getting this chance and opportunity to be right before you and have your darshan. I don't want to go to Hamirpur. And Baba, of course, then had sent Sarosh Irani and Vilu to Hamirpur. And when they came back, Vilu had, her faith was not that strong like Sarosh. And when she came back, we were again seated before Baba in Meherazad. And Baba asked them to share their experience of the love that they saw for Baba in Hamirpur. And at that time, Vilu auntie shared that when she saw the love for Baba amongst the Baba lovers there, of the villagers in Hamirpur, she got her faith built up more that Baba is indeed God. That's one of the incidents that had happened. And of course, during that time in Khushru quarters, earlier Gulmai was there, Adi's mother. Adi's senior sister Dolly used to be there. His elder sister Piroja used to be there. Then Pukar used to come off and on to Guru Prasad and also to Meherazad. Then, of course, Baba's brothers, Behram, who used to take his snaps. And there used to be Chagan Master. You must have heard of Chagan Master. He used to do the cooking during the Sahwas time in the 50s. And at that time, he didn't get a chance to be before Baba. But Baba used to tell him that, look, although you are not coming and getting the chance to be before me in the Sahwas in the 50s, by preparing the food, you are serving me. That is what Baba had told him. Then Faram Rose, working box wala, he used to take Baba's notes very tediously, and all the records that later on Peter Nordin has taken, those were handwritten and typed by Faram Working Box Wala, whom we used to see working tirelessly during 1960-65 during that our stay in Khushru quarters. Then there used to be Rangole, who had played a key role in developing the center and running the center in Ahmednagar. Earlier, the center used to be in one of the veranda on the side, on the opposite to where the trust office is there, on the other side, there is a veranda where Dr. Donkin's Wembley car used to be parked later on. That was the place. In the open veranda, the center used to happen. But then with Sarosh Irani's effort, that new center was made in between the Khushru Quarter and Sarosh Motor Works, the present Ahmed Nagar Baba Center, which Baba had come to inaugurate, and we were there when that program had happened of inauguration of the Ahmed Nagar Baba Center. Likewise, also when the Bombay Center was being opened in 62, we were in Khushru Quarters, and Siganporia and Baba lovers, Kishan Chand Gajwani used to come to discuss with Baba and take Baba's guidance for starting the center in Bombay. We used to be present there. And when the message was sent to Bombay, we were there at present at that occasion. And later, when Pune Center we used to visit, Baba had inaugurated that center and also visited it again in 1965. If I recall correctly, it was 1964, and later again in 1965, twice Baba had made a visit to the Pune Center. And on both the occasions, we had the chance to be there in the Pune Center get together. Then there used to be, Kekobad was there, Dr. Harry Quenmore used to come frequently and occasionally and live in Meherazad. There was another American Baba lover, Joseph Harp, who had shifted from America to Pune, and he used to come to Guru Prasad and also to Meherazad. And the Luck brothers had come to see Baba in Guru Prasad. That was the time we were there. And in our days there in Ahmednagar, Bhai Sattha was there, and the Damania family in Akbar Press, where we used to go frequently and get Baba's the stories we used to hear from them. Then Meherji Karkaria used to live in Pune, very close to where my maternal grandfather lived in Salisbury Park. When we used to come to Pune, sometimes we used to stay in our maternal grandfather's house. And at that time, my mother's elder sister, her mother-in-law, wanted to have Baba's darshan. But those were the days when Baba had strict instruction, 1967, that nobody should come, only those who were called could come, 66, 67. Those were the years. And she wanted to come to take Baba's darshan. That lady was the grandmother of Patu Keswani, who is now the owner of Lemon Tree Hotels. No, she told my mother, and of course my father also, but my father refused. He says, I cannot take you. But my mother, she could not refuse her because she was the mother-in-law of her elder sister. So she brought along that old lady for Baba's darshan to Guru Prasad. And when we entered that small meeting room in Guru Prasad, when my mother walked in, and then this lady, elderly lady, she walked in, Baba looked at her and she said, how come she is here? Ask her to go back. So my mother had to take her out because my father said, I have not brought her. Girja has brought her. So she had to, so Baba sent her away because she could not be sent alone. So in that, my mother had to go back along with that lady to go back to Salisbury Park. And she went back. And when she went back, then Baba started saying that Girja Devi loves me so much that I have sent her away. She might, commit suicide because I have sent her away. So Baba sent the car again to Salisbury Park all the way to ask my mother to be brought again. So my mother came back after dropping that lady back in my grandfather's house. in Salisbury Park, where Merji Karkaria was our neighbor there. So that's how we used to get a chance to see all of them. And in Pune, we used to visit Bindra House very frequently, where we used to meet Gaimai, Merwan, Meru, Eret's sister. And there used to be a parrot there in Bindra House in a cage. So as a little boy, I remember that parrot who used to talk. Parrots, they talk. So I could hear him talk, little parrot. And you might have heard of him. He was a very his Baba lovers who used to visit at Bindra House used to see that parrot. And in Guru Prasad, there was a big letter M kept there in Guru Prasad. But as a little boy, I used to see that Guru Prasad letter M, and I had a fancy for it. I used to go and touch it and see that letter M. And now that letter M is kept in the blue bus in Merazad. And I had that photo taken, and then I shared it. Maybe it can be shown now here, that letter M. Some of you might have noticed. Or if you go there to Merazad and see the blue bus, it is lying there in the blue bus. This letter M used to be there in Guru Prasad. And as a little boy, I used to take fancy for this letter M. And there was one other very interesting story of my father. There was a time when there was some court case against Baba. It was a civil matter, of course, because of some land issue in Belgaum. One Haldankar had made a case on Meher Baba, and Baba had received a summons. So he called a meeting of his lovers who were knowledgeable in law. Dake Parkar was there, and my father as a judge was brought. And then the discussion happened about what would happen in the court, and Baba expressed as if whether he inquired whether Baba will be called to the court and whether he will have to go to the court, stand in the witness box. So during that, conversation, which used to be like heavy discussion of legal discussion, my father said, while making a legal point, he said, Baba, don't you think it is so? And at that time, Baba told Erich, tell Prem to repeat what he said. And my father said, Baba, don't you think it is so? When my father had made a point. And then when my father repeated this, Erich said, Baba says, I don't think, I know. And then my father suddenly realized that all that serious discussion and that concern which Baba was making, whether he will have to appear in the witness box in the court, it was just an opportunity that Baba was giving to them to have Baba's darshan and to be with him. And this also gives us an insight into Baba's state as God. As a God and man, it's really a marvel and a miracle. How can you have these two consciousness fused together as God and man, and to handle these both consciousness at the same time is a real miracle and a marvel which Meher Baba did, and we saw with our own eyes him doing so. Then I don't know if you might have heard of Lata Lime. She used to be a very good singer, and Baba was very pleased with her singing. She used to sing, and she used to come to Merazad also, as well as the Ahmednagar Baba Center, and to Guru Prasad also, to sing before Baba. And we used to hear her singing. When Begum Akhtar had come and sung before Baba, we had an opportunity to be present during that time. And there were so many occasions when we got to get a very good exposure to what Baba had said. Adi who had in the beginning, expressed his concern how my father could accommodate in Khushru quarters, because he was a judge and that house was not suitable for him. And my father had repaired it, and Baba had allowed him to do that. And we got the chance to be there. And my father and Adi Senior became such good friends that over the dining table, Adi Senior used to share all the discourses on Guru, God Speaks, with my father. And I used to be seated, and I got my first exposure to God Speaks right from the mouth of Adi Senior in our own house in Khushru quarters. The place which is now the trust office. And there used to be, the Baba's radio. When we were before Baba, I was a little boy and I was quite playful. I was never, a quiet type who'd like to be seated quietly. But somehow it so happened that on so many occasions, almost 80, 90 times over that decade of the 60s, I got by good fortune to be seated before Baba. And we used to be there for anything between half an hour to 1 hour in front of Baba, either in Mehrazad or in Guru Prasad, or even in the center, twice in Pune center, once in Ahmednagar center, and all these times. But in front of Baba, I never felt like going out or moving out of being in his presence. It was so blissful to be in his presence, his radiance and the freshness and the charm. And we almost forgot our own, even as a boy, I could forget myself totally in his presence. Baba's purity, his sparkling eyes, and his lovely gestures and quick moving fingers, they have left an impression. And the delicacy of his skin, and also Baba's hair, which used to be as a plate on the back of Baba's head, because in those days the hair had become like that. But somehow Baba's face never appeared to me to be old. I always found him to be fresh, and I never felt that I was facing Baba, who was, in his 60s and crossed into 70s of his age. I never felt that. Of course, there are other stories which I have already shared. And my father understood Baba better through Aurobindo's books, and his two books, Synthesis of Yoga and the Life Divine. These are the two books which he read all through in the 60s, and he said it helped him to understand Meher Baba. But they are very heavy books, but they helped my father, and later on I also used to read them. My mother used to get a chance was given an opportunity to share her love, and she had sent two teapoys to Mehrazad. One was kept in the next to Baba's sofa in Mehrazad hall, Darshan hall, and one was kept in the near the bed. So and this blue wash basin, my mother got this chance to place this basin there before Baba's to enable him to wash his hand, and it was on the teapoy there, and there used to be Baba's chappals kept below on that teapoy. It's still there in that Mehrazad hall and in Baba's bedroom. There are some of these pictures there. This is the teapoy. I still remember the carpenter who had come to the house and made this teapot. And this sunmica, which is on the top of it, where this flower vase is there, we had used that same sunmica in our other furniture also. And also in Baba's bedroom, there was exactly the same teapot kept there. And his Baba's slippers used to be kept on that in a box there. It is still there in Baba's bedroom. And it's such immense good fortune of our family to have got this chance to have left this sign in Baba's Mehrazad and right in Baba's bedroom there. She used to very frequently ask Babas, what I want to send something to eat. And the Manli used to say, don't send, but then they used to send, okay, you can send bhajas. So she used to send bhajas to the Mehrazad Manli, and Baba also tasted that. And from Alibag, of course, she loved, and the Manli and Baba also had the coconut water, which we used to have in Alibag in the district judge's bungalow, which we got that. And then Baba's, when Baba dropped the body, my father felt very sad that he didn't have that Baba's picture sitting on that sofa in Mehrazad, the Darshan hall. So in 69, in the great Darshan, he was feeling very sad. He didn't have that picture, and he always wanted that. So it so happened that a Baba lover came forward and tapped my father on the shoulder, and he gave that photograph, Baba sitting on the sofa, which is now lying, that has been put there right in the hall also. And my father got that photograph there. And of course, later as district from Nagar, we went to Satara, and the district judge's bungalow in Satara happened to be the bungalow which was used by Baba earlier. And the bedroom which Baba had used was later used by my father as his own bedroom in the district judge's bungalow. And we got a chance to go to Mahabaleshwar and be with Kohiyar Satarawala and Ripon Hotel, where Baba had done a lot of his work in Satara as well as Mahabaleshwar. I think I've had enough of my say about the stories, and it's already past 7:10. So whatever you tell me, Sam. This is a picture of 1962 of East-West gathering. I am standing at the base of the stage in front of Baba. I'm 9 years old in front of Baba. 62, I was 8 or 9 years old, 8 years old. And this is another of my picture in Mehrabad, earlier days. I used to have this ribbon on my shirt to tie with my knicker. There are some of these snaps. And this is also 1962 East-West gathering. Myself facing Baba. I think these are the pictures that we have. And my mother in the East-West gathering before Baba. There is Adi Senior standing there. You can see Baba's hand only on the side. And of course, a bit of Baba's face. And this is 1968 in Mehrazad. My father seated there. Yeah. These are later periods near the blue bus, my family with Bhauji, my wife and my children. With Eraj uncle, Meherwanji, Goher auntie, and my daughter and my son and my wife. Again, in front of Blue Bus, our family. And the Khushru quarters, the trust office now, where we lived for almost 5 years with Baba's blessings. This is the table where I used to hear God speaks, narrate a story and explain to my father, and I used to be seated there. This was the lunch table later on when the Manli used to come to work in trust office. This was the dining table during our time also. And this is the room which I had made as a Baba center in Khushru quarters. This is the door of that room. These are some later pictures with Baba, with Daraji in Mehrazad, and also with him just before COVID in Manonash cave in Hyderabad, Khajaguda cave, Baba's cave. This is the cave, and we had an occasion to be together there in that cave. This was just before the COVID. Thank you for showing all these pictures and photographs. Janice, thank you for so much for the hard work that you did to show this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Uncle.
Thank you.
Thank
Jai
you.
Baba. Jai Baba.
Before you leave, I want to ask our viewers, does anyone have any questions to ask? किसी को कुछ पूछना है? Now I'll ask one question. Raj, is this all the stories that you have, or you still have some more in your stock?
No, some time or the other, I have shared most of these stories.
No. There must be some more. Na? Acha, by the way, I'm reminded your mother had written a book.
Yeah, Journey to God.
Ah.
That book gives some of the letters that we had received from Baba, but it doesn't give the letters that had gone from our side to Baba.
Acha.
So we are trying to get those. If we get both the sides of the letter, that would be even more interesting. But my mother's handwriting was quite bad. So Erich used to always say that he has a lot of difficulty reading those letters to Baba, because they used to be read to Baba by Erich.
Somehow or the other, I really liked your mother very much. She was very devoted, very soft-spoken. And another thing that I remember about her is having Baba's picture in the toilet.
Yes.
And when I asked her, she said, yes, why not? He is everywhere. He's supposed to be everywhere. So he's there too. And I later on realized that is the time when you can narrate to him the most, because you're relaxed and sitting there on the throne. So, yeah.
Yeah, you can relate to him.
The purity of our love, is what touched us all, actually.
And I am reminded of your father, who used to talk about Baba and tell us Baba stories in Bombay Center in the late 60s, late 70s, early 70s.
Yes.
I think it was mid 70s.
Yes. Archana Grover has a question. Go ahead, Archana.
Jai Baba Raji.
Jai
It's
Baba.
been really wonderful listening to you. And there is one point where I and maybe all the Baba lovers would resonate with what you said, is that as a child, when you sat before Baba, you felt bliss. So we are perhaps not so fortunate to meet him in his physical form, but this is exactly the same feeling we experience when we come to the center, be it Pune center, be it his house in Pune, or even at the Samadhi. That's what I think each of us experiences complete bliss, which cannot be described. So I feel from my limited understanding, I would feel that yes, he is still there. His presence is very predominant. Thank
You
you
are
so much for your sharing.
you are very fortunate and to have that, and so are other Baba lovers. Thanks to beloved Baba who
Yes,
gives us a little glimpse of that bliss that
yes,
he is able to share with us.
true,
Yeah.
true. Thank you.
Jai
Jai
Baba, Jai Baba.
Anybody else? Farah has a question.
My wife's stories, she can share. She, but this time is already over. My wife has some little stories
Or we can have one more session after a few Thursdays. One of the Thursdays we can fix you up.
for her and
And
my
your,
daughter. For
yeah, yeah.
I think
All,
what they need, they have their own stories.
so all three of you can get together and we can have another session in say 1 or 2 Thursdays later. Will that be all right?
Yeah, Baba willing. Yeah.
Good, good. Baba willing. There's one more question coming from Farah.
I don't have a question, but I can say one point where you mentioned about the case which was on Baba. So, when he invited your father and other lawyers or the judges, tab, when your father said, "Is that so?" I believe that was the line that he asked to Baba.
Don't you think? He said, don't you think it is
Don't
so?
you think it is so? And then when Baba mentioned that, I don't think it is so, I know it is so. So that was like something that hit me very strong, that what comes with his authority at times, like, we take it very casually, but it is something very profound and impactful. So that was a strong point that I caught from your talk today. Jai Baba. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you, thank you.
He's talking from his home. Mumbai only, but from his home. Anybody else wants to ask anything? Zinia, you have any questions? Omya? We have a very, what should I say, very advanced audience. They have no questions. So that's the way it is. Okay. If there is no more questions, we shall now conclude our program, and perhaps in coming few Thursdays' time we can have Raj Khilnani with his wife and his daughter sharing their experiences also. We shall now break into prayer, Aarti, and then we hold 1 minute silence, and then we shall depart. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Baba.
Avatar, मेहर बाबा की जय। हे परवरदिगार, सबके राखनहार और सबकी रक्षा करने वाले, तुम्हारा कोई आदि नहीं है और न तुम्हारा कोई अंत है। तुम अद्वैत हो, तुम तुलना से परे हो और तुम्हारा पार कोई नहीं पा सकता है। तुम्हारा कोई रंग और कोई रूप नहीं है। तुम आविर्भाव से रहित हो और तुम गुणातीत हो। तुम अपार हो और अगाध हो, कल्पना और धारणा से परे हो, शाश्वत और अनश्वर हो। तुम अखंडनीय हो और दिव्य नेत्रों के सिवाय और किसी भी प्रकार से तुम्हें कोई नहीं देख सकता है। तुम्हारा अस्तित्व सदैव था, तुम सदैव रहते हो और तुम सदैव रहोगे। तुम सर्वत्र हो, तुम हर वस्तु में हो और तुम हर जगह से परे तथा हर वस्तु से परे भी हो। तुम आकाश में हो और पाताल में हो। तुम व्यक्त हो और अव्यक्त हो। तुम सब लोकों पर हो और समस्त लोकों से परे भी हो। तुम तीनों भुवनों में हो और तीनों भुवनों से परे भी हो। तुम अगोचर हो और स्वतंत्र हो। तुम सृष्टि के रचने वाले हो, स्वामियों के स्वामी हो, समस्त मनों और हृदयों के ज्ञाता हो। तुम सर्वशक्तिमान हो और सर्वव्यापी हो। तुम अनंत ज्ञान हो, अनंत शक्ति हो और अनंत आनंद हो। तुम ज्ञान के महासागर हो, सर्वज्ञ हो, अनंत ज्ञान रखने वाले हो। तुम भूत, वर्तमान और भविष्य के ज्ञाता हो और तुम स्वयं ज्ञान हो। तुम पूर्ण दयामय हो और सदैव हितकारी हो। तुम आत्माओं की आत्मा हो और अनंत गुणों से संपन्न एक परमात्मा हो। तुम सत्य, ज्ञान और परमानंद की त्रिमूर्ति हो। तुम सत्य के मूल हो, प्रेम के महासागर हो। तुम सनातन सत्ता हो, ऊंचों में सबसे ऊंचे हो। तुम प्रभु और परमेश्वर हो। तुम परब्रह्म हो और परात पर परब्रह्मा भी हो। तुम परब्रह्म परमात्मा हो, अल्लाह हो, इलाही हो, यजदान हो, अहुरमज़द हो और प्रियतम ईश्वर हो। तुम्हारा नाम इज़्ज़त अर्थात एकमात्र पूज्य है। हे असीम दया के निधि प्रभुराज, हम अपने सब पापों के लिए पश्चाताप करते हैं। हर एक विचार के लिए जो असत्य, अनुचित या गंदा था। हर एक बोले हुए शब्द के लिए जिससे बोलना हमें उचित न था और हर एक कर्म के लिए जिससे करना हमें उचित न था। स्वार्थ से प्रेरित हर एक कर्म, शब्द और विचार के लिए तथा द्वेष प्रेरित हर एक कर्म, शब्द और विचार के लिए हम पश्चाताप करते हैं। विशेषकर हर एक कामुक विचार तथा क्रिया के लिए, ऐसे हर एक वचन के लिए जिसको हमने पूरा नहीं किया, और सभी निंदा, पाखंड, दंभ या लोगों के पीछे उनके दोष बताने के लिए हम अनुताप करते हैं, और खासकर दूसरों का नाश करने वाले हर एक कर्म के लिए, दूसरों को दुख देने वाले हर एक शब्द तथा कर्म के लिए तथा दूसरों पर दुख गिरने की इच्छा करने के लिए हम अनुताप करते हैं। हे प्रभुराज, आप हम पर असीम दया करके हमारे किए हुए पापों को क्षमा कीजिए और वैसे ही आपकी मर्जी के अनुसार विचार करने में, बोलने में तथा कार्य करने में जो हमारी असमर्थता सदा रहती आई है उसको भी क्षमा कीजिए। यही हमारी आपसे प्रार्थना है। प्रियतम परमात्मा, हमारी ऐसी सहायता कर कि हम तुझसे अधिक का अधिक प्रेम करें, और अधिक और अधिक, और फिर भी उससे भी अधिक प्रेम करें, जब तक कि हम तुझ में मिलकर एक हो जाने के पात्र बन जाए। और तू हम सब की ऐसी सहायता कर कि हम अंत अंत तक प्रियतम बाबा का दामन दृढ़ता से पकड़े रहे। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
भुजावे नार जहलतनी कर खुद रथ ने फरमातू छलागी आश भक्तों ने के बख्शे नूरे मातू अयामुर शब मेहर बाबा चरण पर तुझ न धरिए सर खुदाना जात थी वाकिफ थई बै थो मेहर बातू तू छे माँ लिख हकीकत नो तू आशिक भी ने आरिफ भी तू छे दरी याए वहदत मारिफत नो हो ही तू फातू हमोर है रब ने ऐसा लेख बख्श दे ज्ञान ईजदनु के तू पर मात्मा ज्ञानी छने मुख तारेर फातू खुदाना प्रेमनो प्यालो पिलावी मस्त हमने कर छे तुझ पर जान सदके साखिया पी दे पे मातू हमारी नाव भर दरिए तरावे तो हमें तरिए हमारा ना खुदा ए मेहर बाबा छनिगे बातू हमारा ना खुदा ए मेहर बाबा छनिगे बातू भुजावे नार जहलतनी कर खुद रथ ने फरमातू छलागी आश भक्तों ने के बख्शे नूरे मातू। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
जहाँ कल्पना शब्द न पहुँचे ऐसे अपरंपार नेति नेति वेद पुकारे महिमा तोरी अपार दिव्य सनातन परम दयाधन दिव्य सनातन परम दयाधन हे जगदूद्वारो मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो धूप दीप चंदन चर्चाना भोग लगाना फूल चढ़ाना तुमरा ही तुमको लौटाना काहे बड़ाई करूं मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो सकल निधि के तुम कारण हो सकल विश्व तारण हारे हो तुम सम और नहीं तुम ही हो, हे सत अवतारो मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो, मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो। सकल चराचर तुमरी माया, माया भी तो तुमरी छाया, तुम्हारा अंत न कोई पाया, तुम हो अनंत खरो मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो, मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो। अपने को जब जो नहीं जाने, महिमा तुमरी क्या पहचाने, जो कुछ भी कहते अनजाने, गुण गाते तुम्हारो मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो, मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो। सीमा नाही तुम्हारी कृपा को, क्या कोई दे सकता प्रभु तुमको, भीख तुम्ही दो प्रेमी जनों को, नित्य तुम्हें सुमरो मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो, मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो। दिव्य सनातन परम दयाधन, दिव्य सनातन परम दयाधन, हे जगदुद्वारो मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो, मेहर मन आरती स्वीकारो। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय, अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय, अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। प्रियतम अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
Jai Baba, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And we shall now be concluding our today's session. Until we meet again next Thursday, please keep Baba with you. Jai Baba.